Broadcasting live from the Newsmax studio in New York City, here is Steve Malzberg.
All right, and we're back with part two of the Malzberg panel as we continue to discuss today's decision by the NBA commissioner to hand down a lifetime suspension to the owner of the Clippers, also to fine him $2.5 million and urge the NBA's board, made up of the owners, the other owners, to vote to force him to sell the team. Kevin Jackson and Jared Max join us. Kevin, of course, does not agree with Jared on many of these issues here. And Jared, you were going to retort to Kevin's last remarks.
Kevin, where was our last? I was having so much fun with this. My mind got boggled.
All right, give a 10-second summary, Kevin, on what you said before.
Well, essentially what I said is it's a slippery slope because the NBA can now say what they deem to be, dereliction or whatever they want to call it. I know they've got these clauses in there that say this, but this man was, I don't know whether it was legal or illegal, but I think most people would not feel that a conversation with an ex-girlfriend or anybody associated with you is a legal conversation, or certainly a conversation you wouldn't want to go public. So that's number one. It was a private issue.
Yeah, well, no, I'm telling you, I strongly agree with what Kevin is saying. I know he was saying that, what did you say before, that as an African-American, some might say, whoa, how are you saying that? But truthfully, that's welcoming, because I think that we're in unison on this. That just the fact being, again, privacy of your bedroom, whatnot, like you said, if he had said, hey, I'm not going to allow black people into my arena, or if he said, hey, I'm going to kill somebody, now you're talking about something that demands a calling. My biggest problem here is that all this did was, for people who were blind to the subject for a long time, this exposed Donald Sterling. In case you didn't know, this was Donald Sterling on tape saying, hey, everybody, I'm a racist. That's all this was. Why
Jared, not to interrupt you, but I think it's a bigger point, and I've been making this point all week, is that, or since this thing broke, is that it's more a shot over the bow to people about racism. America is not a racist country. We have 37.5 million immigrants. We are the #1 immigrant destination in the world, okay? We are made up a mosaic of all peoples. So what happens when the left gets one of these stories is they want to, I call this guy the Leona Helmsley of racism now, because you can pay your taxes and still go to jail. They need somebody to make a scapegoat out of, because guess what? America was starting to become desensitized to the cry of racism every 5 minutes. So now we've got a new poster boy. The NBA is now becoming the forum for this. That last time I checked, these guys play basketball, and that's it. I don't care about a LeBron James.
Let me throw this out there, guys. Let me throw this out there at Jared. The NAACP, who canceled his second Life Achievement Award the other day, which he was scheduled to get in a week or so, said today that they're willing to forgive eventually Mr. I want to say, keep saying Silver, Donald Sterling, and that they're still talking to him about him contributing more money to some black UCLA students, although they haven't talked to him since the incident. So my question is, and I'm playing devil's advocate here, if the NAACP is willing to forgive eventually Donald Sterling, then should not the NBA or the owners?
Well, I don't know if you want Jared to handle that. I'll tell you this. The NAACP...
All right, go ahead, Kevin. Go ahead, Kevin.
The NAACP proved that they are as worthless and as racist an organization as you can get. Everybody's known a little bit about how the propensity of Donald Sterling, and they've allowed him to be an NBA owner. They've allowed him to do all the shenanigans that have happened and led up to this point. And now, because he can write a fat check, and oh, by the way, he will write a fat check to a bunch of
all right, I get it. Kevin, I'm out of time. I'm almost out of time. I want Jared to have the last 20 seconds. Go ahead, Jared.
Sure, go ahead.
Look, it all comes down to money, Steve, right? Isn't that right? I mean, we always say we all might have different color skin or whatnot. We all pray to the same God, and that's the one on a dollar bill. And it's unfortunate, but look, it's amazing that we all get along as well as we do. To bring up a point of what Kevin was saying, we turn on the Nature Channel and we see different savages of different animals and different species, and within the same species that attack each other. We have pretty good control. We just get frustrated when things don't work in perfect machine-like fashion. There are plenty of people who need the same kind of support was
All right,
obviously
guys.
given here.
Guys, Jared Max, and Kevin Jackson, great panel. Thank you so much for sticking around for both the segments. I appreciate it very much. Okay, folks, to be continued. I am very, very sure. And I want to let you know that we will be back with more of the Steve Malzberg Show. But first, today's America's Moment takes a look back at a date which will live in infamy, D-Day. Stay tuned.
By mid-1944, German military occupation engulfed the continent of Europe, while across the English Channel, an armada of men and equipment was preparing to take it back. On the 5th of June, Allied armies from the United States, Great Britain, and Canada joined those from Australia, Belgium, Czechoslovakia, France, Greece, New Zealand, Norway, Poland, and the Netherlands, and set sail for the Normandy coast. But they weren't all soldiers. At morning's first light, London bureau chief for the future NBC radio network, George Hicks, broadcasting live from the deck of an American ship, provided Americans back home with a front row seat.
Here we go again, another plane come over. Right over our port side. Rangers are making an arc right over our bow now.
Supreme Allied Commander General Dwight D. Eisenhower also used that same venue, radio, to inspire both his troops and the nations they were being sent to set free.
The tide has turned. The free men of the world are marching together to victory.
The date was D-Day, June 6th, 1944.
Meat Jam.